day, everyone. I'm John Paul Enriquez, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our webinar, Mental Health at Work Beyond Awareness Towards Action. Today, we'll talk about how we can go beyond raising awareness and take real meaningful steps to build healthier and more supportive workplaces. We're joined by Mr. Donis Bendicio, a registered psychologist and psychometrician, educator, and mental health advocate. He has extensive experience in counseling, organizational training, and employee wellness, and currently leads the Lahok Training Center, which assigns programs that helps professionals build resilience and well-being at work. Let's all welcome Mr. Donis Bendicio.
Welcome to this pre-recorded session on mental health awareness. My name is Donis Bendicio, your facilitator for this topic on mental health. So while we may not be gathered live, this platform provides us with a meaningful space to learn, reflect, and gain practical strategies to support our well-being. So we would like to extend our gratitude to the management for making this program possible and to all employees for taking part of this learning journey. So thank you. And your participation shows a commitment not only to personal growth, but also to building a healthier and more supportive workplace community. So by the end of this session, we hope to equip you with the knowledge and tools that not only promote personal resilience, but also help create a more compassionate and supportive community. In the session, our objectives are to explain how movement and some of the physical activities such as exercise, nutrition, mental health are closely connected to our well-being. So to practice simple yet effective strategies that can be applied in daily life. Of course, to support wellness and to apply at least one of these self-care techniques that can help manage stress and build resilience. So movement, nutrition, and mental health are deeply interconnected. So working together to shape the well-being of the individual. So regular physical activity, exercises, stimulate the release of endorphins and other brain chemicals that boost our mood, reduce stress, and improve sleep quality. Now, nutrition, on the other hand, provides our body or the physical body with essential nutrients, even our brain, that influence our energy levels, our concentration, and emotional stability. When balanced, movement and healthy eating are practiced consistently, they create a positive cycle of strength, and mental resilience. So it also reduces the risk of anxiety, depressive symptoms, and enhance our ability to cope with everyday challenges. To start our session on this pre-recorded learning session, let's do a quick icebreaker. And if you are comfortable doing this activity, you can pause this video. So if your stress at work could be described as an OPM song, what song would it be? And why? So this activity allows us to reflect on our experiences in creative way while also sharing a bit of ourselves with others. So music often captures our emotions perfectly. So think of a song that best represents how you feel when work gets overwhelming. And be ready to share your choice with the group, as you pause this video. Now, stress is the body's response to different settings. to non-specific physiological and psychological response to kind of demand, be it at work, personal activities, no, whether pleasant or unpleasant. So that disrupts internal balance or threatens our well-being. According to Selye in 1976 and the American Institute of Stress in 2023, this means that stress is not always negative. Okay? So it's simply the way our body reacts to challenges and changes or pressures in life or demands of work. What matters is how we recognize and manage these responses to maintain health and resilience. Now, going back to our activity of choosing a song, that best describe your feelings, for example, or your experience with stress. How would you make sense of these lyrics, for example, that you identified or song that you identified with stress? Okay, so burnout is defined, by the World Health Organization in 2019 as a psychological syndrome that develops when chronic workplace stress is not successfully managed. It is characterized by three main features such as emotional exhaustion or feeling drained and depleted. Mental distancing, which includes detachment or negative attitudes toward one's job and reduce professional efficacy, where individuals feel less capable and effective in their work. So you will recognize these symptoms as part, of the routine or somehow part of an individual's tendency to cope with a lot of stress. Okay, so sometimes it is overwhelming, the stress that we are experiencing, and sometimes due to layered stressors, and events, not just in personal but of course with workplace setting, individuals tend to have this kind of experience of burnout, which leads us to another topic, which is self-care. Now, self-care is not selfish. Just like the saying goes, you can pour from an empty cup. Now, taking care of your own physical, your emotional, and mental wellness allows you to show up better for your growth, your relationship, your work, and your personal responsibilities. Now, self-care is not just about indulgence. It's about replenishing your energy so you can continue to thrive, perform, and support others effectively. So, which is why there are employees, there are people who are not effective, because of the overwhelming stress, because of the overwhelming experience of the personal and workplace stressors. Now, when the body experiences stress, it activates the fight, flight mode or the response. This response releasing the hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, to increase the heart rate. It sharpens our focus and prepare the body to face challenges. So while this response is useful in short bursts, prolonged stress can disrupt sleep. It can weaken our immune system, and it can increase the risk of symptoms of anxiety, depression, and other health concerns. So this shows how important it is to recognize stress signals early and respond in healthy ways. There are healthy coping skills which allows us to manage stress more effectively and restore balance. Now, these include regular physical activity such as walking, balanced nutrition, exercise, adequate rest, which strengthen both the body and the mind. Relaxation techniques like deep breathing exercise, no? Yes, and journaling can reduce tension while reaching out the supportive friends, no, family members, trusted professionals helps to lighten emotional burden. So by practicing these strategies consistently, we build our resilience and protect our overall well-being. There are also unhealthy coping strategies. As you can see right here, there are coping skills such as excessive use of substance such as drugs, alcohol, no? Sometimes we may observe ourselves, no, other people who are oversleeping, undersleeping. Some of us may experiencing overeating, undereating, and sometimes, no, when we are in a mall, for example, we have this kind of tendency to be impulsive with spending. So these are some of the cue, no, that the stress might be overwhelming, that the stress might be, affecting us negatively. And of course, no, with impulse buying or impulse spending, we can see how our finances, no, are affected by these situation. Once again, no, there are unhealthy coping strategies such as smoking. Now, smoking and other unhealthy coping strategies such as excessive alcohol use, overeating, substance abuse may provide temporary relief. No, we feel good for a moment from stress, but often worsen mental health in the long run. So these habits can alter our brain chemistry, increase vulnerability to anxiety, depression, mood instability. So which is why after the calming effect of alcohol, for example, when we wake up the next morning, we feel bad, while creating dependency that makes it harder to manage stress in healthy ways. Nor important, we also observe this kind of strategies to be to for us to be mindful, of our tendencies as well. So instead of resolving underlying issues, these unhealthy coping strategies, they mask the problems temporarily and can lead to a cycle of poor coping strategies later part. So the more that we, for example, consume substance use, we may be affected, in terms of sense of control, our tendency to judge, may be affected as well. Okay? So it may reduce our resilience and decline our overall well-being, not just our mental health, but of course with our physical health. On alcoholism, this kind of coping strategy has significant impact on mental health as well. So often creating the cycle of worsened mood, emotional problem, psychological difficulties. So alcohol may initially seem to reduce our stress, to ease social anxiety. Long-term misuse alters our brain, our brain's chemistry. It may increase risk for depressive symptoms, anxiety disorders, even impaired memory. So it can intensify our mood swings, lower self-control, and contribute to aggressive or risky behavior. So which may strain our relationship and heighten feelings of isolation. So over time, dependence on alcohol not only weakens our physical health but also undermines our resilience, our relationship, and make it harder for us, or individuals to cope with life's challenges in healthy ways. Now, there are ways to manage our stress, not just in our personal um, space, no, or personal activities, but with workplace as well. In terms of managing stress in the workplace, it begins with recognizing the source or sources of the stress, such as heavy workload, unclear expectations, or lack of work-life balance. And addressing them in practical ways, strategies include realistic goals, no? Organizing tasks through prioritization. So we use, for example, no calendar. We use tools such as reminders, no, and taking short breaks to recharge during the day. So it depends with the person. It depends on how we cope with these stressors. So we build supportive relationships as well, not just in the workplace, but of course, outside workplace, our trusted friend, no, our trusted family members or community. Okay, so beyond the office, healthy habits like regular exercise, no, balanced nutrition, adequate sleep can strengthen our resilience. We also use mindfulness, as mentioned, breathing exercise, walking, no, short walks can help manage in real time. So let's say, for example, after this recorded session or after this webinar or this learning session, try to be mindful on how you walk. No? So try to slow down your walk, and you will recognize how your body responds differently. It's just that maybe you're not used to it, no? Maybe you are walking really fast, no? Or somehow you want to go from point A to point B, no? And it is reinforcing that kind of anxiety, that kind of stress, and you feel stress all the time. But when you walk, mindfully, when you walk slowly for a moment, you will feel that kind of pacing of slowing your anxiety or just slowing your nervous system to adapt with this mindfulness exercise. Okay. So before we proceed with our next topic, no, so you can pause this video, no. You can pause this presentation and proceed with our activity. So the activity is appreciating your coworkers. So for this activity, take a moment to think of at least 3 coworkers who have made a positive impact on your work life. So reflect on what you admire, what you value, or feel grateful for in each of them. Okay, so you can mention more than 3. In your heart leads you there. Okay, so you can use a paper, no, the facilitator or the learning facilitator, no, assigned to you right in this moment may give you a paper perhaps, no, and a pen so you can write down the name of that individual or the name of those individual, at least 3 of your coworkers, and identify what are those things that you are grateful for. Okay? So to guide you, you may use the prompts like I appreciate, no? You include your name, you include the name. So it's up to you if you want to include your name as well. But if you don't want to disclose your name, no, you just want to make it anonymous, then you just put the name of that coworker and the thing that you appreciate about him or her. You can also start with I value, no, the name of your coworker. No, working with your coworker feels meaningful because, no, something like that. So feel free to jot these down in your notes or on your paper, no, if you'd like to share them in this session, no, when you post this video presentation, you can do so. Okay, so this helps us to celebrate the positivity together within our workplace. So again, if you're ready, you can pause this video anytime. So after the activity, no, you may perhaps now felt differently with your coworkers. You may perhaps feel that kind of warm feeling on your chest, the lighter feeling. No? You feel more relaxed. You feel more grateful, no, for the moment. Now, just be present, no, in that particular feeling, in this particular moment that you just think someone, no, you notice something that is good with your coworker, and then try to breathe in that kind of gratitude, and then breathe out the tension. So it helps, no, when we do this exercise and not simply listening to what I am giving you at this present moment. Because, sometimes it is a mental overload, but when you recognize how you feel in the present moment, it helps, no, in navigating emotion, regulation, no, and somehow the impact of stress as well. The mental health benefits of exercise and physical activity, as mentioned, there are different factors, no, that can be impacted by this activity. So it helps, no, to reduce feelings of stress, depressive symptoms, anxiety. It can enhance your mood, no, even your sex life, for example. Okay, so it increase your energy level, and later part, no, improve sleep. Okay, so these are the uh, benefits of exercise, no, activities that can promote wellness for your overall well-being. It can also make new friends. So let's say, for example, in HR, no, or the HR may invite you to have this kind of physical activity such as Zumba, fun run, no, something like that. So you can request, no, with your human resources, with these activities, and perhaps it can build, no, the team. It builds that kind of camaraderie, not just work, no, but of course, no, that kind of sense of belonging. And here in the Philippines, we have this kind of value of kapwa, no? So when we say kapwa, we feel that kind of connection, that kind of being one in the community. Okay, so we are not just improving all by ourselves, no, or as an individual. We are not just improving as an individual, but of course as a community, as a workforce. Okay, so when you walk, no, you will feel these tension being released, no. It may improve your digestion, improve balance and coordination. Your blood control pressure may be regulated, no. What else? Strength, okay, improve circulation, better heart health, immune system booster, and improve mental health, no. So if you have time, no, during the day, no, as much as you could, no, try to walk. Okay, so it helps with regulating your emotion and improve your mental health as well. Okay, same with running. Okay, so with running naman, there are positive impact, no, not just with your physical, but of course with your mental health as well. Okay. So let's say, for example, no, there are activities such as fun run that you may be part of, no, such as this activity, no, the uh, Pokemon fun run. Okay. So these are the benefits naman of dancing, no. If you have this activity in your company, for example, no, it may produce or may benefit us by promoting cardiovascular health, okay, improve flexibility, improve balancing coordination, and helps in weight loss, okay. So it reduces stress, it may improve our self-esteem because we dance together with our workers or co-workers, okay. It improve fun and social practice as well, okay. So these things are more likely behavioral in nature. So we are not just talking about the mental health as in mental health, no, as is, no, but we are also reinforcing that kind of health, no, of our mental health by means of moving, by means of exercising, by means of walking, so on and so forth. Okay, we can also introduce yoga, no, aside from running, aside from walking. Okay, so again, you can pause this video and watch this presentation. So I will give the copy of presentation. So this is a 5-minute seated stretch. No? So you can follow with the exercise, no, and you can also implement this even when you are at work. Okay, so if your company, no, allows you to have this kind of exercise, no, why not? Because with long hours of sitting, no, it may be contributing to stress. So which is why simple activities, no, exercises or physical exercises that can maximize, no, our tendency to move, it may promote mental health boost as well. Okay. We may also adopt, no, family day in our workplace setting, such as every month, for example, no, we can adopt with family day. So why? It may increase, no, job satisfaction among individuals who are family oriented. And here in the Philippines, no, we know that we are collective individuals. Okay, we are more of together, no, of family oriented individual. So improve work-life balance, no, recognizing that the company allows us to recognize that family, no, is part of our motivation to work, part of our strength, no, and resilience, which is why Family Day is also considered as part of promoting mental wellness among our employees. Okay, so these steps, no, towards emotional agility and resilience may likely reinforce our mental health. So first, we have to face, no, our thoughts, no, recognize which are the things that likely contribute to our mental health problems, no, stress, for example, and be curious, no, with our own experience. Because the more that we reject, no, the thought of the problem, the thought of stress, the more that it retaliates, the more it brings out to your awareness, and sooner or later it may occur, no, with our physical symptoms such as heaviness on our chest or in our chest, some sort of muscle tension. So usually muscle tension can be observed, no, at the back of our neck or the nape, no, part, our shoulders, perhaps our extremities, no. So these are the things that may likely saying, no, that our body needs rest. Okay, so you have to sometimes, no, detach from your stories to see a bigger picture, no, and see how different factors may be contributing to your stress. Okay? So focus on your value. So if you value family, if you value health, no, if you value your wellness, no, we also introduce ourselves in this kind of activities, and more often, no, we are being part of a community that is recognizing mental wellness by approaching our human resources, by approaching our management, no, that we need this kind of activities. And then moving forward, no, we take tiny steps, no, gradual improvement, not just with the, the program or activities provided by our organization, but we also integrate physical activities, no, mental wellness activities such as breathing exercise, journaling, no, to our daily activities. Okay? So this presentation, no, is part of our activity where we wanted to listen to something such as the song of Louis Armstrong, titled "What a Wonderful World." It is more of a song, no, of appreciating things that we see, things that we hear, things that we experience, no. And listening to this song might give you some sort of realization of your present moment. Okay, so you can pause this video again, no, and listen to the message of the song. And then later part, you can share, no, among your group mates or among your co-employees about the message of the song and how you were able to relate with the lyrics. Okay? So there are set of activities that are suggested aside from what we have mentioned. So mindful breathing, it is a 5 to 10 minutes deep breathing exercise, no, guided meditation, which can reduce our stress, it can improve our focus, and regulate our emotions. Aside from mindful breathing, we also have physical movement, as mentioned. Uh, we can add, no, stretching, dancing, no, with our favorite song. So it can boost our mood, our energy levels as well. Next is journaling. Okay, journaling or gratitude practice, which is part of our activity in the early presentation. No? So we write our thoughts, we list the things that we are grateful for, which helps us to process emotions and build positive mindset as well. Okay? So sometimes we have to detoxify ourselves, no, with the tools or the gadgets, no, that we are using. So we can take short breaks from screen, especially with social media, no, because our newsfeed may be mixed with anxiety-provoking content, no, and also when we detoxify from our gadgets, no, especially with social media, it can induce sleep. So as much as possible, don't use your phones, no, before you sleep. Okay? So of course, with the exercises, with the movement, no, we have to hydrate as well and nourish our body. Okay? This is to improve, no, not just our mental health, but basically our physical health as well. Okay? So which of these routines, no, do you already practice or want to try? So I hope, no, deep within your hearts, no, you are realizing how important these activities are to improve your wellness. And so we practice simple strategies for daily wellness. So we promote mental wellness by identifying, no, our emotions, our psychological wellness, how we get along with our coworkers and other people. So if there are some instances that we are distressed with the presence of another person, we are distressed with another individual, no, there might be some cues, no, on our adjustment or maladjustment with the social setting. Perhaps, no, if we tend to forget, no, details of our work, for example, no, our activities. Now, these are some of the clues, no, that there might be some problem with our mental activities. Okay. So mental health is not just about illness. It is about how we are recognizing our activities, no, that promotes wellness, how active we are to, retain that kind of wellness. Okay. So there are times that we have to seek help. Okay. So if you observe yourself to experience stress, anxiety, depression, burnout, fatigue, and sleep issues, and it is or they are affecting your normal routine, such as daily functioning, work, no sleep, your food intake is also affected, your relationship is affected. So likely, we are experiencing or you are experiencing mental health concern. So there are times that you may observe your body to be yourself to be impulsive. So you are interrupting people when you speak. No, you are impatient. You're unable to wait for one's turn. You shout or laugh inappropriately. You exhibit risky behavior. There are some emotional outbursts. No? Knocking things down, no, destroying things, physical violence, sensation seeking. So these are some of the impulsive behaviors. What else, no? When we feel distress, when emotional pain affects your work, relationships, or daily life. Okay? When we are dysfunctioning or we don't have that kind of sense of routine that we are good at this thing, what we used to. No, so when your sleep, appetite, focus, or productivity are disrupted, likely we need to seek help as well. So sometimes it helps, no, when we talk with the loved one or our loved one, or our best friend, no, or someone who we trust. Okay, so disconnection when you feel detached, isolated, or stuck in unhealthy thoughts or habits. Okay, if you are danger to yourself or others, when you have thoughts of self harm, no, or harming others and feel like you are losing control. Yeah. So these are the things that you have to be aware of, no, in considering health, no, in terms of mental health. So which of these signs have you noticed in yourself or others? So we have referrals, no, in case you observe these things, no, with yourself or others, maybe it's the time, no, to ask for help, and maybe your organization or maybe the HR has this function of referring you to specialists. Okay, so you ask these kind of services with the human resources or the management. Okay, so we need to apply the self-care technique, no, the stress and resilience. So we engage with real-time mental health check-ins by means of journaling, no. We use our calendars, no, to be aware of our wellness. We can compliment our colleagues, no. We drink 8 glasses of water, no. We also avoid no gossiping, no, or making this kind of culture of threat, no, for others as well. So we can contribute positively by means of understanding, no, how we likely impact the individual by means of not gossiping. Okay. Next is personalized wellness and planning sessions. So in case you need a one-on-one session, consultation, perhaps with your psychologist or your coach, no, you can plan, no, ahead. So let's say, for example, you have a consultation every month just to check in, know whether there are some goals that you wanted to achieve, no, there are problems with executing them, there are problems with relationships, no, so you can personalize your wellness with mental health as well. Okay, so in the workplace, no, you can provide a safe place wherein you can do puzzles, coloring books, you can do journaling, or if there is a calming music, no, in this particular room, no, it can promote mindfulness or relaxation as well. Okay, you can also invite health speaker series, not just counselors, psychologists, but of course other specialists or doctors who can normalize the conversations about not just mental health, no, but of course with your physical wellness as well. Right? So if you have this kind of activities of storytelling, open mic sessions, no, well then good. You are creating a safe space to your employees, no, to share their personal experiences. If you are into poetry, no, or mental health, you have this kind of building empathy and connection. You are promoting, no, not just wellness for that individual, but the camaraderie and again, no, the kapwa values. Okay. So we also have volunteer days, community organizations that we share our blessings to others by providing food, no, or outreach program. This is connecting, no, our organization to those communities in need. Okay. So which of these would help you feel more supported at work? Now, is it the idea of connecting with your coworkers, or is it the idea of connecting with the self? No, identifying your needs, and with the help of the human resources and management, no, we can do this together. All right. So at the end of this session, no, I'd like to thank everyone who participated, no, and listened, and you know, doing the exercise, no, that are promoting wellness. So again, maraming salamat po, no, on behalf of Dr. Anywhere. Thank you, and hopefully, no, we are more aware of the mental health and how these activities may likely help us to understand and promote wellness in our organization. Maraming salamat po. And kung may question po kayo, no, you can ask our facilitator to email me through the contact information that I have provided them. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Bendicio, for those valuable insights and practical reminders on how movement, nutrition, and mindfulness can make a real difference in our mental health. It's a good reminder that small, consistent actions like taking short breaks, expressing gratitude, or caring for our well-being can help us stay grounded, resilient, and connected at work. If you found today's session helpful, we invite you to stay tuned for more educational and inspiring webinars on health and wellness. Follow Generali Philippines on our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and visit our website at www.generali.com.ph for updates, resources, and upcoming topics that help you care for what truly matters, yourself and your well-being. Again, this is John Paul Enriquez. Thank you and stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.